Hi, boys and girls. It's time for your reading mini lesson. This week, we have been talking about all sorts of different ways that we can think deeply about our reading, particularly fiction. And we've been practicing with showing our thinking in writing a little bit. And today we're going to continue that. Readers know that writing about your reading shows you're thinking about it. And it also helps you to really think even more deeply and kind of formulate. It's one thing to talk about your reading and quite another to take all those thoughts and put them together into your writing so that somebody else can understand and sort of get in your head is that communication part. So we're going to continue to work on that today on your Flex Day. I have a short list here of lots and lots of different ways that you can respond to your reading. There are many ways in fiction. Describe character traits, tell how the character changes. You can make a timeline to show events. You can really focus in on the writer's message. You can describe the high point of the story. What do you think is the best part? Or what do you think is the most exciting part? You can just talk about the setting. We talked about how when and where are very important and how those can impact the story. You may have a quote from the book that really resonates with you or really means a lot to you that you'd like to kind of expand on. You can talk about the authenticity of the character. We've talked about that, how they need to be acting appropriately or typically for the time period or the place where they are in order for it to really feel authentic. You can describe character relationships. And then there are also many ways that you can respond to nonfiction. In our guided reading groups, we've worked a little bit on just what have you learned about the topic compared to what you knew before you read the book. You can discuss a writer's message either in a fiction book or a nonfiction book. You can also just keep a list of sort of all of your wonderings or additional questions that come up as you're reading a nonfiction book, which happens all the time. You can tell something that was super interesting to you and kind of give details about that or something that surprised you. And you can also always give an opinion of a fiction or a nonfiction book, as long as you back it up with some details from the story, some examples. So those are just a few ideas of ways that we can respond to our reading in writing. And you have a virtual reader's notebook that you're going to use today. And in that reader's notebook, there are several pages that have these forms for writing about reading. You're going to go directly to page 4 and focus on this independent reading response that's just kind of a generic template to use to share about a book you love. So you're going to use one of these ideas, which I have on the Canvas page, to actually use this template to show your thinking. And right below here is a video of Mr. Winslow explaining exactly how to get that template into your reader's notebook and how to upload a picture of the front of the book. And also then there's a box there for you to actually write your thinking. And that's where you will choose one of these ways to think about your book. And then you will write down your thinking on this template right here, the independent reading response one. Okay, so your final thought is that when readers think about the many ways they can respond to reading, they learn to use writing as a tool to think more deeply. So we use discussion to think more deeply. We go back into text to think more deeply. And another great way to really think deeply about your reading is to write about it and kind of put it all together. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you write in your reader's notebook. And remember that you'll watch that video right below here to get the nuts and bolts of how to do that. I can't wait to read what you write.